Alright, and hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and welcome back to the Ocarina of Time Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, we got ourselves all swallowed up by Jabu Jabu, but now since we're in the dungeon right now, we did go and meet up with Princess Ruto and picked up with the boomerang, and that is going to be a very big help throughout majority of this area now, because if you guys don't know, within here of Jabu Jabu's belly is that there is actually a mini boss, and also as well too, there is going to be a main boss as well. That actual main boss is known as Barinade, which I really do like that boss quite a bit, because I kind of like how it has like 3 separate different phases where you kind of have to strategize on exactly how that boss is going to work around with. But we'll get into more details when we actually do go and start meeting up with Barinade, because for right now we're here back in this area where we went and picked up with the boomerang, but there is going to be some unique enemies that are going to be around here. I don't really know exactly what these guys' names are actually known as. I always call them like the uvula. That is going to be happening here within Jabu Jabu's way. Now, there's not really too many of these enemies that actually do show up, but this one in particular actually does have a reward for you to actually go and pick up, and that is going to be with the dungeon map. And funny enough here, just find the dungeon map and the compass is that they're both located here in the same exact vicinity for where we're going to be at, because once we go and pick up with that dungeon map, there is also a door that is, I want to say, just right on over to the left-hand side, and all that we have to go and do is just head into that room, battle out with some bubbles that are going to be around within there, since we already seen those type of enemies so far within here, and just go and battle with those guys, and then you'll be able to go and pick up with the actual compass right away. Now, I have to say, sometimes here, with having Princess Ruto alongside with us, she can be a little bit bossy sometimes, and I'm pretty happy that once we're going to be all said and done here within this whole area, then we don't ever have to go and worry about ever having to come back over here ever again. Now, I already went and picked up with the different Skulltulas. I know that from the last episode, I know that we couldn't really go and grab them right away, but I did tell you guys within that last episode was that I was going to be going and picking all of them up off recording, so that's already been taken care of. I'm pretty certain that I went and grabbed out with the last bit of the Skulltulas here in this episode, so at least the good thing is that we don't ever have to come back here to this area ever again. I remember when I went and first played Jabu Jabu's belly with an Ocarina of Time before, I remember I got myself lost so many amount of times here in this place, because like most of the times if you go and fall into like one of those like sinkholes or something, like during the same type of place that we saw where Princess Ruto was at, I always kept on falling around in there, and I always kept on thinking that I was like heading to like all these other different type of places, even though that they were like in the same exact like type of spot that you go and like normally fall into with, where you kind of normally see where like Princess Ruto is going to be. I always keep on thinking that those are always like new areas to me, and that's how I always got myself lost, and I normally kind of like spend a lot more time within this area than compared to the other different dungeons from before. But this is also another uvula enemy that's also here. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing that really ever does happen within this way, except that you do get to access into another door to go and battle with this guy. Now, this one is going to be a little bit more tougher than the rest of the other different uvulas here. Now, you want to make sure that you use majority of your boomerang that's going to happen this way, because if you keep on trying to attack with this guy, those annoying little jellyfish guys are going to start like showing up around and start like causing up to be a little bit of a problem. Now, also too, a good way to kind of like attack out with these enemies is that if you kind of just throw your boomerang and then just kind of like move back a little bit, you should be able to kind of at least make sure that you don't like really get yourself like too much into their distance when they go and try to attack. But now, since we're already done with all that, we're going to fall down through into the actual sinkhole that we did go and meet up with Ruto from before here. And now with that door actually being finally opened up to us, there's that spiritual stone. There's the last one that we have to go and do. Now, I will, however, off recording, after once I'm done with this episode here, is that I will be going and jumping on into the Happy Mask quest again, and I'm going to make sure to go and finish that off before we go and become Adult Link, because I want to try and make sure that I at least conquer out on everything that I want to do as Young Link for right now, and then we can go and start becoming Adult Link to go and do all the other different main type of stuff that's going to happen a little bit later on as well. Now here in this particular area, because at some point we do have to go and try to meet up with Ruto here and try to climb up onto that pedestal, but unfortunately that pedestal is going to float away and it's actually going to bring out with the mini boss within our time of the Big Octo. Now, I do recommend for this battle though is to actually get yourself hurt within this within this part here, because trying to run around and try to at least use your boomerang on this guy is somewhat relatively annoying, and I do recommend that you do get yourself injured by the dude, because normally he always likes to spin around and that gives you the perfect opportunity to at least go and throw the boomerang. Now, I was a little bit I was a little bit rusty here. I wouldn't say too messed up within this area, but I was a little bit rusty trying to head on into this Big Octo battle, because it has been a little bit of some time, but there we go. Now, I do recommend that using the sticks are actually a little bit better for this Octo guy here, because you can actually do 3 hits with the jump slash on with those sticks there, and you can actually go and knock him out for 3 hits and he will actually disappear instead of doing it for 4. So somewhat pretty handy there if you ever do want to go and do it that type of destination here. But now, if you guys do remind yourself, is that remember that one particular area that we went to from before, which we couldn't really go and do like too much about it, but we did see that random weird red square that was kind of just like bobbing around? Well, we're going to be seeing those red squares again, but this time it's going to be in this type of next area that's going to happen afterwards. And we're going to have to go and put our boomerang to the test to actually go and freeze those guys so that we can at least go and jump on into the next spot. Now, I want to say that right on after, once we're done with these bob and red squares and we head into the next area, there is going to be another sculpture that I will have to go and pick up, which I think you guys should be able to go and see where the sculpture is going to probably be at, because I don't know if I ever did any type of editing or whatnot that's going to happen from here. But if you guys don't know about with how I do with all my gameplay stuff and everything for right now, with the change up of how I do my commentaries and a little bit about with the way of how my gameplay experience is going to be here for you guys, is that I normally kind of do a little bit more editing than normal, just so that I can kind of whittle down everything, just so that you guys don't have to get like too bored on other different situations that happen around here, because this one in particular with Jabu Jabu Belly is that there is a lot of things to like go and do a lot of backtracking with, so I try to dim it down as best as I can. I know that this episode in particular, from what I was doing the recording from before, was like almost within like half an hour, so I know there was a little bit of some times where I think I kind of got myself a little bit backtracked, but not like too much though. Now here for this part is that I remember when I went and played here the first time, I know that I got myself completely lost because I thought that I needed to have Ruto for this, but actually you don't need to worry about that, because these are the blocks that we do need to go and open up with this way. Because like once you go and put that little bit of that extra platform within this area here, this is where we can now go and head into where that sculpture is going to be happening, is right here within this room. So there we go. So I already went and picked up the sculpture here. Normally the sculpture should be like around in that little webbing there in that direction, so you should be able to go and find them no problem. You'll hear like some rustling around within the sound there, but anyways, let's go and head on into this next door, and I believe this is where Barinade is going to be showing up and let the battle finally commence. Now, this guy does have some electricity attacks where he does like to go and basically shock you around. Now, for me personally, is that the best way to go and dodge around with the electricity attacks is just by at least just kind of like deking him out here and there by probably using like the L sliding button, where you can normally kind of just jump from one side to the other without having to get yourself hit. Because like just trying to use the boomerang out here for the first part is going to be a little bit tricky, because you can't just literally just sit there, like basically just sit there like that, because it's not going to be perfect, if I should go and say. Yeah, and just like that, just sitting there is just going to keep on getting you like more electric shocks over and over again, so it's not great. Now, but once you go and actually take care of all the different tentacles that are here, you should at least be able to go and see that he is going to open up well, basically he's going to open up his actual body part that's here, and that's where you can go and do all the different slashing that's going to happen. So at least we went and did at least some bit of a jump slash there, but now he's actually going to go and start moving around. Now this is where you want to go and actually at least stun him, and then actually go and throw on down with a boomerang and try to at least get them into the blue, and then go after all the other different jellyfish that are going to be there. Because you do have to knock out every single jellyfish that is going to be around within his way there, and then you don't have to have him try to start doing more annoying stuff with that. So there we go. So far so good. Yeah, I could only do so much there, but now we just have to go and take care of the last bit. Yeah, sometimes you have to get right up into that actual position. Yep, and not only that, you can't even go and just attack them. You have to go and actually hit the jellyfish. Got myself injured again, but not to worry. Yeah, and I was a little bit rusty throughout this Barinade battle. I do know how to work around with the Wind Waker battle, because I know that the Wind Waker boss is almost similar into identical, exactly like it. But now you kind of have to think about what's going to happen here now. And you just have to just keep on, well, hopefully try to stun him out here over and over again. And just like that, I think he's almost done. Just need to do a few more other extra hits here. There we go. Hopefully that works. No, it does not. He's going to go and fall back down. There we go. Just kind of just keep yourself well in a corner there. Yeah, this guy's going to be shocking the whole entire system here. Come on, we're almost there. There, Link, come on. We can just at least just manage out here, just getting the last few other hits. We should be able to just be in the clear for this one. Nice, thank you. And just like that, Barinade is done. And we got ourselves with another heart piece, so that we can be able to, well, I was to say not heart piece, but heart container, and be able to get a nice full edition new heart into our way of the different energies of hearts that we have now. So how much is that going to be? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's literally 8 hearts that we had. So originally before we came in here with 7, now we actually do have 8 at this point. So very cool indeed. Finally, let's just go and get out of here, man. Thank goodness. And just like that, we are out of here. But where are we going to get a shot out here from, though? That's the question. Whoa! We're so zoomed in. But I don't know if you guys ever played through Ocarina of Time before, but the only way that we can only get ourselves with this spiritual stone is by having to, I guess, marry this, this Zora here with Princess Ruto. And the only thing that I can only think about is well, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the old school abridged series of Xana with his whole Ocarina of Time stuff from before, but the only thing that I can only think about here is within this segment with between having Link and Princess Ruto here is that he actually brought up something about like with the whole fish babies thing. But there we go. So now we got this whole spiritual stone thing now. So now, at some point, probably within the next video, we'll head over directly right into where the Temple of Time is going to be. And then we can finally be able to go and put all these spiritual stones to good use. And also as well, too, probably go and meet up where the actual, I want to say where the, where Sheik should actually be at, right? Because we never actually got to go and meet up with Sheik just yet. But don't tell my father. What, about the whole marriage thing? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Okay, so let's just go and find our way on out of here, shall we? Well, I think, you know what? I think a good enough time for me is that I think I'm going to probably just go and end off the episode for today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And of course, peace.